here, and skaters lining up for the equipment checks. My name is Kim Deal With It. I am so happy to be back here in Washington, D.C. A 3-month absence for me. And Magic Twanger, you've been gone for a while as well.
I have been. It's been a busy time of year, but I'm glad to be back as well. I'm really excited for some hard-hitting roller derby action here.
So the way this is going to go here is the winner of this game is going to share possession of first place with the DC Demoncats. Demoncats 3-1 on the season so far. Both these teams coming in at 2-1. But here's something that's really awesome and why I'm so excited to be announcing this game. The last 2 times these teams have faced off, it has been a score differential of 15 points or less. So razor-thin margins between these two teams.
Kim, as you know, 15 points can be taken care of in only one jam. It comes down to the wire every time these two teams square off. It's going to be an exciting bout tonight.
So it looks like the equipment checks are just about done. We're about to get things going. Let me ask you guys one question. Are you ready for more roller derby right here at the DC Armory? I think they're ready, Twanger.
I think they're ready. They could have done better, but I think they're ready. Once they get into the action, I expect more. I expect better.
All right, well, it's on you here. Let's introduce our first team.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you're here for some roller derby action, so let me hear you put your hands together for the majority whips. This skater doesn't give a damn. It's number 689, Beamer Receiver. She'll commit the crime, but she won't do the time because you'll never catch her. It's number 29, Tool Hiddison. Defending the pack against Cylon attacks, it's number 8757, Crack You. 1, 2, Primer's coming for you. 3, 4, she'll flop you to the floor. It's number 31, M Street, Frightmare. She'll hit you here or there. She'll hit you anywhere. It's your favorite Susical skater, number star 67, Green Eggs and Wham. This sassy little feline really puts the ow in meow. It's number 16W, Kitty St. James. Hard-hitting journalism indeed. Spell check never hurt this much. It's number 30, Lois Lane. Democratic Whip, Nancy Pelosi in the house. It's number DC04, Nasty Pelosi. She'll knock the grammar into your jammer. Number 408, the Oxford Kamikaze. She'll have you saying, thank you, ma'am, may I have another? It never hurt so good with number 755, Spank Baron. The First Lady of Pain, number 1797, Abigail Adams. When your number's up, she'll take you down. Number 627, Shirley Jackson. This former Buckeye will leave you with a black eye. She's your co-captain, number 330, Maiden Smackman. There are 206 bones in the human body, and she'll rock all of them. It's your co-captain, number 206, Sticks and Stones. Make some noise for bench coach, Rack of Slam, and you may not know him, but he's a big deal. Welcome the return of the Pickle. Folks, make some noise for the majority whips!
And their opponents, they are the reigning DC Rollergirls champions, Scare Get ready for her close-up. You'll see it all, but you won't like it. Number 47, CFR, Deadly Lamar. Corporal Punishment reported for booty. Number 121, Hanky Spinky. She really needs no introduction. Number 10, Helena Handbag. Don't call it a comeback. She's been here for years. She's too hooah for you. Number 1775, Rollergirl. Not skating tonight. Hashtag classic. Number N0PJKLOL. The Queen of the Celts, leaving bruises and welts. Number 584, Kilted Killer. Her onslaught has only just begun. Number 606, Sharp Shredder. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband. She's taking everybody's candy out there. It's 100 G's, Sugar High. You'll wish you brought baby mama some death row boyfriends of protection. Number 88, Tricky Late. She's opening up a prehistoric can of whoop-ass. Clever girl. Number 65M, Velocity Raptor. The co-pilot. Watch out for this bullet train. She'll run you off the track. 1883, Scoriental Express. And the pilot. Hide everything shiny. Beware the bite of DCRG's Play It for Life. Number 311, Marion Barracuda. The air traffic controllers, Fly By Night, Lenore Gore, All American Express, and Flying V. Last but not least, Captain Soul Crusher. This is Scare Force One. And Magic Twanger, we're going to get a classic jammer matchup to start things off. It's going to be number 31 M Street going up against that's Frightmare, going up against number 606, Sharp Shredder for Scare Force.
And these are two of the strongest jammers that these teams have, and they put them on the team to start off strong. That's important to get a good lead early on.
Let's go, Nasty!
All right, it's the anticipation that's getting to me here. The first whistle sounds. Action is underway here in our second game at the DC Armory.
Already you can see the tight pack action. They're keeping the skaters in front of them.
It looks like Sharp Shredder was able to escape the pack first. Was kind of stymied up in the front there by Maiden Smackrin, but she was finally able to escape just at the same time Frightmare got it.
That's a quality blocking pack right there. They're not going to let you skate free. You're going to have to work your way to the front of that pack.
Sharp Shredder enters the pack, calling it off, able to pick up points for Scare Force. Of course, points accumulate until the fourth whistle blast, and we're starting to see what we've been seeing this for a while. Skaters entering the pack, calling off, and hoping to only get a certain amount of points. In this case, Scare Force picking up 2 points.
Sometimes it's better to keep your opponent from scoring any points at all, even if you don't score the full 5. Call off the jam before your opponents can put any points on the board.
Up on the line right now, number 311, Marion Barracuda, going up against number DC04, Nasty Pelosi. This jam is brought to you by DC Brow, which rules. Be sure to drink accordingly and always remember to brow down responsibly as pack action moving quick in that first turn there.
Very quick, you saw some blockers taking a spill right off the bat that freed up some space for the jammers to make their way through. They're not completely through the pack yet though.
Dual Hiddison found a great lane on the outside there, was able to gain lead jammer status for Scare Force. So 2 jams, 2 lead jammer statuses going to the champs.
Obviously, you know, the lead jammer is indicated by the referee who's holding their hand up, indicating lead jammer status. That's a good way for you to keep track of who's in charge of the jam.
And you know, when it's 4-on-4 out there, nobody's sitting in the right IP wall penalty box. So when there's so many players out there on the track, it really makes it difficult to fight your way through.
That's right. The pack is able to set up defenses and provide screens essentially to keep you from getting free.
Well, it looks like Marion Barracuda assessed a penalty, so it's going to be a power jam here. Just as we mentioned, nobody's in the box. I really need to stop.
You really jinx some skaters whenever you say things like that. It's a little quality time, the right IP penalty box.
Now here's the fun part, because Marion Barracuda was lead jammer, Nasty Pelosi cannot call off the jam. We have to go the full 2 minutes unless the jam ends 2 minutes.
Come on, Nasty! Hope you got your cardio in, because you're in for a long jam. If you can't call off the jam, you're going to be working all jam long.
The front of that pack there, Velociraptor and calling a handbag, trying to slow down Nasty Pelosi. We're able to hold it back for a little bit, but she ended up stretching the pack out. When you see skaters sort of standing about 8-9 feet from each other, what's called bridging. They're keeping their teammate in play so they can still legally contact an opposing skater. And it looks like Nasty Pelosi there, Magic Twinger, picked up a track cut.
Impressive. Well, what that does is it frees Marion Barracuda.
Yeah, what happened there is Scareforce blocked her center out. I believe it was Hell in a Handbag. And I don't know if Nasty Pelosi knew if it was Hell in a Handbag or if it was Velociraptor that sent her out. She re-entered the track and cutting, but she picked up 13 points beforehand, so it's 13-4. It's 26.5 minutes left to go here in our first period.
That's a pretty big jam. A good way to pick up lots of points and separate yourself from your opponent. That way you can only play defensively and hold that lead rather than try to put a lot of points on the board in every jam.
So off the MastermanLaw.com jammer line, Baby Daddy and a power jam for Scareforce.
You get the sense of Scareforce 1 feels like they have something to prove after that big jam by Nasty Pelosi.
I had a chance to well, Baby Daddy able to push Abigail Adams outside of the back after she's the jammer. You know, I talked to a few of the skaters from Scareforce. They feel like they have something to prove after they lost last month to the DC Demoncats. So they really feel like they need to prove themselves against a team that has scored the most points this season and the majority wins.
When you're such a dominant team and have been so for many years, you got to come out every season with a chip on your shoulder until somebody takes that off of you.
5 points for Baby Daddy thus far. It's going to bring him within 4 right now. Jam's still ongoing. It looks like there was a track that was just as the jam got called off. Looking to see who's going to the Master City Right IP Law penalty box. It was Annalisa Slice who cut the track. As we have a tie score here, Twagger. I haven't seen this in a while. Since, last game when it was 88-88. This is awesome. I love tie games.
Not very often you have ties here, but this is...
I'm being told by DJ Melly now it's a double tie. It's also kind of a spooky double tie, too, because it's 13-13. There's Sharp Shredder looking to make a difference in this one. Escapes the back first. She's going to be lead jammer for Scareforce.
Nasty Pelosi released with the right IP penalty box. She still needs to make her way through the blockers, though.
Come on, Nasty!
Sharp Shredder completes the scoring pass there. I'm sorry, Magic Twainer.
You can inform the fans watching Green Eggs and Whips sent to the right IP penalty box.
While we have a moment here between jams, I want to let you know about Very Confectionery. Always here at DC Armory Games. They're the official sweet treat of the DC Rollergirls, and they gave me some cinnamon marshmallows. They taste just like a cinnamon roll.
They're fantastic. They always make great confectionery treats for us. Glad they're here to sponsor us again this year. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, so it's Marion Barracuda versus Frightmare off the MastermanLaw.com, the jammer line. Looks like number 330 making smack right her way into the penalty boxes. Frightmare escapes, gets past Velociraptor on the inside, lead jammer for the WHIPS.
Escape is definitely a term when you're dealing with a full pack or almost full pack. This defense is very stout. You're going to have to work very hard to make your way out of the pack.
So Scareforce hit the last jam, retook the lead. Frightmare trying to change it. Oh my goodness, that was a connection right into the small of the back. It looks like there was a low block penalty that was assessed to Frightmare. This is going to be a power jam for Scareforce. I think because when she collided, it looked like her leg collided with Velociraptor's right around the knee area. That's a low block, so it's going to be a power jam in favor of Scareforce.
Pretty dangerous, pretty scary sight to see. I believe Frightmare was saying that she couldn't control herself, kind of spun into the low block that happened. She's got to call a penalty on that. So she's spending some time in the right IP penalty box.
So And of course, because Frightmare was lead jammer, she cannot call off the jam, so very good. A huge opportunity to widen this lead because she's already put 15 points on the board for Scareforce. Now, it's important that Frightmare was on the scoring pass when she went to the box, so there were probably unaccounted for points on the board.
Where the strategy of the pack really comes in handy. You'll see the pack start to slow it down for their skater when she's skating on a pose. No reason for your skater to work overly hard to exert herself. If she doesn't need to, you can slow down the pack.
And very good. It completes another pass. That's going to make it 25 on the jam here so far, Magic.
25 big points. Those are big points you put up on the board. As you said, 15 points is nothing. 25 points in one jam, and you see another skater go into the penalty box. That's Velocity Raptor.
So Frightmare did leave the penalty box before the conclusion of the jam, scored 5 points. So after 5 jams, 42-18 is the score. 22 minutes left to go here, and it looks like we're going to have a team timeout that is going to be taken. While we have a team timeout, we've mentioned their names a lot today. Let's tell everybody about Velocity Raptor and Hmmmmmm Handbags. Wonderful skate shop, Department of Skate. They supply the DC metro area and the rest of the Derbyverse with roller derby gear, and awesome. They've got that too. Owned and operated by Velocity Raptor and Hmmmmmm Handbag. Department of Skate is DC's one and only roller skate shop from casual street skating to international competition. They've got you covered, and it's worth mentioning because it's rad. Their phone number is 202-642-ICE-SKATE.
That's right. They're also over at the vendor table over there, so go out and check them out. If you want to be rad, you should go check them out.
While we're also talking about some of our wonderful sponsors here, there was our Car2Go was here as well. From A to B with Car2Go, your cars everywhere. Spontaneity on Wheels, and they are the official sponsor of the 2014 DC All-Stars. An incredible season the DC All-Stars have lined up. They're going to be competing in 2 tournaments, Southern Discomfort down in Columbia, South Carolina. That's going to be at the end of April. And then they were just announced as competing in Beach Brawl, which is a tournament just another week later in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Shaping up to be a pretty good spring and early summer, so that's going to be fantastic. Look out for that. Make sure you try to support your All-Star team when you get a chance. Also, speaking of fun, you're having a lot of fun here going by the vendor tables, checking out Car2Go and our other vendors. Don't forget, you can have even more fun at our after party. Don't let the fun end at the Armory. Join DC Rollergirls for the after party at Trustees. We'll have our own private enclosed rooftop area and a bar that extended happy hour specials. Trustees has concocted a special Rollergirl Rampage shooter available for just us. Don't miss out on the fun and dancing after party.
So this has actually been converted into a review. I believe the question here was whether or not Frightmare was on a scoring pass when she went to the penalty box, and I guess trying to negate the 5 points that were put on the board. And the ruling stands she was on a scoring pass. Now it's important that she was also declared lead jammer as well. So you can't be declared lead jammer unless you completed that first initial pass.
Exactly. You've got to make it through the pack. Get your first initial pass, and then you can start scoring. So obviously that's the question that they're trying to clarify right now, discussing that our fantastic volunteer referees.
So while we're clarifying that, I want to tell you about another great sponsor that's here at the DC Armory. I was actually over there during the first game. Marlowe Inc., a custom tattoo and piercing studio located in Old Town Fairfax. They offer a safe, clean, and professional environment, and their goal is to provide a personal and unique experience. Whether you're a seasoned collector or it's your first, Marlowe Inc. strives to offer the finest tattoo and piercing experience to their clientele. We're about to go back into action here, Magic Twanger.
Right back in the action with Nasty Pelosi squaring off for the majority whips.
We're back in action here as everyone is coming off that right IP law penalty. I'm sorry, checkerboard line. That's right IP goes to the penalty box. My brain is not working right.
Shaking a little bit of the rust off, but the action is not heavy on the track. No rust to be shaken off there. As Nasty Pelosi is fighting for that lead jammer spot, and I believe she's claimed that she is your lead jammer.
Great opportunity here for the whips to make up up this deficit. 24 points separating these two teams. The most points actually scored in one jam is actually set by Slim Skady of Fort Collins roller derby. 50 points in one jam, so that is an initial pass plus 10 full complete scoring passes.
That's impressive. You got to be on your wheels and really hard to be able to put that many points on the board. Nancy Pelosi not able to put that many points on the board this time around, but let's see how many points she was.
4 points there, and most importantly, they kept Scare Force scoreless as we're about to reach 20 minutes left to go. By the way, at the half, you know, we have a silent auction here every time at the DC Rollergirls. The silent auction ends at halftime, so you might want to go check on your bids the next time there's an official timeout, or maybe head on over there when there's about 5 minutes left on the clock.
There's a whole lot of strategery involved in winning a silent auction, so make sure you keep up with what's going on the track.
Absolutely. As Frightmare bursts off the line, she's going to be lead jammer for the WHIPS.
I feel like Frightmare has something to prove after being sent to the penalty box. She's out with a vengeance.
Well, Frightmare is one of the more dedicated skaters that I've seen out there. She's always looking for ways to improve herself, going to camps, watching footage. It's like she lives derby, which sometimes, not sometimes, you need to do that if you're going to compete in this sport. And that patience paid off for her. 5 points for the majority WHIPS.
See the results right there. 5 points picked up by Frightmare. Look at her skating so low to the ground. It's also hard to deliver a block and try to stop her when she skates so low to the ground. That's a lot about technique, as you mentioned, studying your craft and making sure you do it well.
Looks like Frightmare had the back calling it off, trying to get past the hips of Mel in the handbag. Was not able to do so, so no points on that scoring pass. 15 points separating these two teams as WHIPS inching their way back into this one. Our next jam brought to you by Frager's Hardware, Capitol Hill's friendly old-fashioned hardware store. Very Kuda on the line for Scare Force 1, going up against Nasty Pelosi for the majority WHIPS. Lots of back and forth action in turn number 1 here. There was a forearm penalty that was assessed. We're going to see who that was assessed on as Very Kuda escapes the pad. It looks like a trap cut to Nasty Pelosi magic.
Most definitely. Nasty Pelosi's going to have to spend some more time in the right AP penalty box. Very Kuda came flying out of the pack, stumbled a little bit, able to regain her footing back on her skates. Now she has a power jam in her possession.
And that forearm penalty was on Deadly Lamar, so it's 4-on-3 in the pack in favor of the WHIPS. They do have majority advantage. Not one of my better jokes, folks. I apologize.
No need to apologize.
5 points picked up here by Very Good, and what you're seeing here is a little bit of a stop on the track. What the Scare Force is effectively trying to do is make it easier for Very Good to get her laps around the track and pick up more points. A lot of teams are doing this strategy throughout the world.
That's definitely right. You got to slow down the action to allow your skater to have the opportunity to make more laps, especially when she's skating unopposed. There's no reason not to slow it down.
Very Good calls off the jam here. You know, one of the great things about being here at the DC Armory, I see, kids walking around with face paint on. You can thank Explore to Learn for sponsoring our face painting table. I think they may have actually shut down for right now. They're still here. You can bring your kids over to the face painting table and learn about internet safety. And it's free, which is the best price.
Also, folks, if you're having trouble finding the jammer line, you'll see that we have our jammer gal out there, jammer line girl, our MKD jammer line girl. She'll help you find where the jammer line is and where all the action starts.
Sharp Shredder came out of that pack with a vengeance. She's already approached for a scoring pass. I've seen Sharp Shredder grow as a skater for the better part of the last couple of years and never fails to impress me, Magic.
That's the work that you were talking about. You've got to put in the work to be able to see the results. And I'll tell you what, Condoleezza Slice has put in a lot of work delivering some big hits. She gave Nasty Pelosi a big welcome back.
Well, it looks like there was a back block on Sharp Shredder, so this will be the third time the lead jammer has gone to the penalty box in this game. We're going to full 2 minutes. The pickle going ballistic over there in turn number 4.
Never angle the pickle, kid. Never angle the pickle. Pickle is not very happy with that call at all.
Looks like Scare Force about to lose their pivot. Come on, Danny! you while penalty box.
Just so folks know who the pivot is. The pivot is basically the leader of the pack, leader of the blockers, sets the defensive pace, kind of calls out some of the plays so the defense knows what's going on, coordinates the defense out there on the track.
So 5 points picked up here for the majority whips, washing away Sharp Shredder's first scoring pass. Scoring into Express, trying to hold back Nasty Pelosi. Nasty was able to fight her way through another 5 points here for the majority whips.
So long that the skaters can engage with the jammer, blockers cannot engage from beyond 20 feet, and so Nasty was able to push those blockers out of the way and get some more points on the board for her team.
That's going to make it 15 points here for Nasty Pelosi on that jam. Found the inside line and sort of pushed her way through, and Sharp Shredder cuts the track coming back. Well, she came back in, but got baited into a track cut. So Power Jam will carry over. Sharp Shredder was assessed another 2 points there for that scoring pass, but Power Jam in favor of the Whips. They trail by 17 here.
That's right, and that's why you only see one jammer right now lined up at the MKD jammer line.
No, I think there may have been a track cut that was assessed to the jammer. If that's the case, then what's going to happen is both jammers are going to have to sit in the penalty box for 10 seconds. Because effectively they both hit at the same time. I don't know if we've got a timeout here or what.
You can see Helena Hemmmmmm, her hands up. She's trying to figure out what the referees are calling. She wants to know.
Yeah, what happened is Nasty Pelosi cut the track on the way back in. They have to wait 10 seconds before they can be released. So Sharp Shredder able to get a bit of a gap in time there and gets through. She's going to be lead to a rematch with the last jam here, Magic.
These skaters are going to be a little bit tired as well. They were out there skating a while, even when they were sitting in the right IP penalty box. So let's see how long they can keep skating around the track.
Sharp Shredder completes the scoring pass for 5 points for the Scare Force 1.
Nasty Pelosi still having a tough time dealing with the blockers there. Scare Force 1 is not letting up easy, and she's having a little bit of trouble making her way through.
Good effort there by Velocity Raptor trying to slow down Nasty Pelosi, but Nasty Pelosi has some great burst to her speed, and on top of that she has great momentum as well. It's really hard to stop someone who's moving like she is.
Most definitely, especially when she gets so low to the track. It's hard to knock her over if she stays on her skates. It makes it hard for you to block her.
All right, so both Jam got called off there. 11 points for Scare Force, 1 point for the Whips. We're about to hit 13 minutes up to go here in the first period.
Obviously, still plenty of time. We saw a 25-point jam a couple jams ago. Definitely nothing's over yet. Nothing's done until it's over.
And we have an official timeout that's going to put the brakes on things. While we have a few moments, I want to tell you about Bookstore Movers. They're here at the game, and they are the well-read moving services for the Washington, D.C. area. Also want to tell you about the Washingtonian, your magazine for living and enjoying the Washington, D.C. metro area. But, you know, it's not really a roller derby event unless there's an after party. And Magic Twanger, you know, you got to tell me about the after party. You're from D.C. You got to tell me these things.
Absolutely. Well, Trustees is the place to be for the after party. Trustees located on 1420 Pennsylvania Avenue, southeast. It's about a 3/4 of a mile walk from the Armory. You can always jump on the orange or blue line. We're going to have the rooftop available to us. You're going to have special drinks for us. It's going to be a great time. Make sure you come out to the after party after this bout.
So the official timeout was to clarify that the paperwork matched the penalty board, making sure that all penalties were assessed as they should. And Mary Barracuda escapes the pack right between turns 2 and 3. She's going to be lead chamber for Scare Force.
We talked about dedicated skaters, and Mary Barracuda is one of those skaters. A long-time veteran of the league. As you can see, very fast, very crafty. Hard to get her off her skates. She left the track there for a moment. Saw that she couldn't get back on the track without Frightmare put the points on the board, and she calls off the jam.
And you know, Magic, that was just a razor-thin margin because Frightmare was barreling into the pack. His team timeout got taken here. Frightmare was so close to putting on points, but that fourth whistle sounded, no points scored. And this team timeout is taken by the majority. It's going to freeze the clock at 12 minutes, 27 seconds.
While we have a little bit of time, I want to tell you about the Beer Baron Tavern
raise your hand if you had no idea that there were more than 600 beers around the world. It's okay. I'm not alone on this one. I'm apparently alone. Wow.
A lot of experienced drinkers in this audience.
Wow. They must be patrons of the Beer Garden Tavern, where there's over 600 beers from around the world. Pickle is infiltrating the crowd. Be careful, you don't know where that pickle has been.
Can't think about 600 beers when there's a pickle in the crowd. I'll tell you that.
You can't get pickled on 600 beers. While I'm having ridiculous amounts of fun, I do want to give some special love to the Raptor Pack, who are avidly and rapidly and derby love. They send terrifyingly awesome best wishes to DCRG for Season 8. Love Mama and Papa Raptor and the rest of the pack. I love the Raptor Pack. They are wonderful people.
They're great people to watch. You know what else is great? All of the action, the roller derby action is taking place on the track as we have number 29, Duel Innocent, squaring off against Shark Shredder. Shark Shredder's seen a lot of action here right now.
It looks like there was a forearm penalty that was assessed, and it looks like it was to Helena Handbag, who just biting her fingernails as she goes into the right IP log penalty box.
I'm not sure if that was a look of innocence or guilt, but either which way, Helena Handbag was not sure about that penalty.
Whatever Helly says, I will believe.
I will believe. If she looks me in the eye and tells me something, I will not argue that. I'll tell you that.
I just don't want her to hit me. She hits hard. Our next jam is going to be brought to you by Jeter Rehab Therapy. Assess, treat, and restore rehabilitating sports, performing arts, and occupational injuries in the district for over 30 years. That's Jeter Rehab Therapy.
Let's make some noise for your favorite Jammer Girl, MKD Jammer Girl out there on the track, showing you where the Jammer line is. Nasserman, Krogman, and Dino are Jammer line sponsors.
It looks like this is going to be the first jamming appearance in quite a while for Abigail Adams, who not only escapes from the pack, you know, she's been in England for the better part of the last year. Not missing a beat. Lead jammer for the WHIPS.
Heard that English roller derby, they skate on the other side of the track. I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
That's actually not correct. You're maybe thinking of Australia.
Okay, all right.
Changes.
Counterclockwise, I get that. Okay, that makes sense.
You know, I've been really lucky. I've actually had a chance to hang out with some of the London Rollergirls. They're great people, and European roller derby's really starting to pick up. They're coming over to the East Coast, to the United States as well.
Heard they serve a lot of tea in London roller derby, a little bit more proper.
Well, Savvy returning to action, 5 points picked up here for the majority. She kind of looked over at us like, I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. And she does it again. That's another 5 points for Abigail Adams.
The right proper moves for Abigail Adams there. She's not drinking tea, she's drinking something else, but she's doing a good job.
Maybe studying some footage of Kamikaze Kitten while she was over in Atlantis. That's going to be another completing pass. 15 points for Abigail Adams. WHIPS are fighting their way back into this one, Magic.
That's definitely right. If you can get yourself a big jam, put 20, 25 points on the board, your team is obviously going to be right back in the thick of things.
Looking to see what happens here is a little bit of a tie-up in turn number 1. Abigail Adams picking up another point. So, you know what I said at the beginning of this, how the games between these two teams, the last two of them have been about 15 points or less. We're within 13 points of each other as we're less than 10 minutes left to go here in our first period, Magic.
Once again, Abigail picking up a big 16-point jam. Next thing you know, your team's at 13 points away. You're right in the mix.
Nasty Pelosi jamming.